dorm that we was in was the poppin' dorm. Like everybody was there. So when I went over there to let her in and we walked to the room, everybody saw it. Everybody saw it. And that nigga goes off. He starts gassing and he's like, oh, this what we doing now? Hey, I can leave. Y'all need the room. I can leave. Again, my roommate is gone. It's just me and her in the room. She's just laid down. I'm like this against the wall, and she's like in front of me, like laying on my chest in front of me. And I don't know what's happening at this point. What's up, all my intrasocial people? We got a special video today and a very special guest in the building. What's up, Sid? Say what's up to the people.
What's up, bro? How you guys doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Appreciate you coming on.
Yeah.
And let's not forget about, you know what I'm saying, the usual suspect, my co-host, one of my co-hosts, Kayode. Say what's up, Kayode.
What's up, everyone?
Yes, sir. All right. So the topic for the day is: can you get out the friend zone? Is it possible?
Fuck you.
We all been there. Y'all know it.
Yeah.
All right. It seems like you had an immediate reaction, Sid. You got something to say? Let's talk about it.
You know my current situation, motherfucker. That's why.
That's current. You could talk about that if you want to. You don't have to name any names.
Nah. In general, right? Can you get out of the friend zone?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, and I think it is possible, but it just depends from situation to situation. Because when you're in the friend zone, people's feelings can change, whether it's yours or the person you're in the friend zone with, right? Or who's switching in a situation. Over time, that can change, but more often than not, it usually won't. Because when you're in the friend zone, they're already looking at other options. You know what I mean? Like they're already in their head. They already put you in this box where, like, oh no, like he or she like is not that interested to me, so I'm gonna look elsewhere. And so that focus isn't there on you, so it makes it harder. You should try and bring that focus onto you and make them see you in a different light. And that's not always easy, because that can easily go wrong, in my opinion. When you try to do that, they may take it in the wrong way. I don't want to say it's impossible, because I've seen it happen before with people I know, like people who've been in the friend zone, but they manage a way to, get out of it and get what they want in a way. But more often than not, you're gonna be stuck in that friend zone, and it's difficult. But you just gotta learn to deal with it and move on, I guess.
Quick question: even in those situations, when you saw them like get out of the friend zone, so to speak, like how did that work out? Did that end up being like a fruitful long-term relationship? Was it like kind of weird? Like how was that transition?
So I think it was obviously a little bit awkward at first, because they were still trying to find their feet as to where they stood in that new space, because when you've been friends for a long time, it's a different kind of dynamic. But when you try to transition from just being friends or being homies or whatever, and to being something a little bit more intimate, something a little bit more serious, it always takes some time to grasp where each other is at in that space. It's a difficult space to handle, and I've seen some go really well and they're still going over 4 or 5 years, but then there's some that's kind of imploded and kind of ruined the friendship too. It can go either way, and if you're lucky, it'll go the way you want.
I wouldn't say it. Obviously, it is possible, but I feel like in most scenarios, it's not happening, bro. Like, especially at least from what I've heard from girls, they like even more so than guys. They like compartmentalize, at least like in terms of like what relationships are, so to speak. So what I mean by that is, like, a girl after a certain amount of time, even if she is interested, once she like loses that interest and she like puts you in the friend compartment, like you're pretty much done. It's pretty much a wrap. It's like she doesn't even think about you in a romantic way anymore. Like you kind of have like a timer almost. Like you have I don't know, I'd say like a week or two, like if she is interested, for you to like show that you're interested before she like puts you in that box. And if you did show that you're interested and she said she just wanted to be friends anyway, then like it's like pretty much straight a wrap. Like that's just, she doesn't find you attractive most likely, because if she still wants to be friend, then she knows how you are as a person, she likes that, but she's just not attracted to you. In
those instances, right, where like you're trying to figure out where you stand within that relationship, even as a friendship or whatever, trying to see if there's something more. Yeah, there's definitely a window But I feel like most cases with the friend zone, the girl just knows it's just friends from the beginning, and that the window has never really been opened. If that window is open, she would also be dropping you hints because girls love to drop you hints and see if you pick that shit up. Because it's just how it is.
Hey, what if I didn't see him, bro? What if I blinked, bro?
Yeah,
I didn't
no.
see the hint. I blinked. It was
Yeah,
fast.
no, that happens. Like for a lot of people, like for me as well. Like in certain situations, like it's hard to pick up on those cues or those hints, and then it just is hindsight. Like you look back and you're just like, that was there.
Pretty much seconding what you guys pretty much said. Like Sid said it like very well. I think there's two. Basically, there's two types of like friend zones you can get wrapped into, like from I guess the girl's perspective and like also guys' perspective. The first one is obviously the one where it's like Sid was saying, it's like you never really get your chance to get out of the friend zone in the first place because before even getting to know the person,
That still frame was so funny, bro. I'm sorry. That still frame was so funny, bro. I'm sorry. You were like,
yeah. So the first one is like, yeah, where you never really get a chance to get out of the friend zone because it's like just knowing you, it's like they don't find you attractive that way. Therefore, like regardless of all the memories or like all the stuff you get to know about each other, gonna compartmentalize you in the subset of friends that they have, which are guys or whatever they find attractive. Then there's a second subset of friend zone where it's like basically there could be some intent of romantic interest from the girl to you, but in this case it's like you said, because of the timer that's set, it's like if you didn't pick up on the signs and different stuff like that, you're gonna get wrapped into that subset of friends, and it's very obviously hard to get out because it's like people will like say different things like, oh, like to get out of the friend zone you have to break the touch barrier, you have to do different stuff like that, you have to do stuff like, but it's like a lot of that stuff is kind of uncomfortable. Like people's like break the touch barrier, like try it, like it's uncomfortable. Like I wouldn't even risk it. I'm not trying to catch a case or anything. So it's like what do you, I don't know, it's like it's a whole thing.
Just a high five, bro. You're not gonna catch a case from that, bro. You start with little stuff, bro.
Something like be safe there, guys. If you don't pick up the signs right away, it's like she groups you to. It's like when you're meeting something that's exciting and something new. It's like the first time you pick it up, it's exciting, it's new. Like it's like the analogy I gave like a couple like a while ago about like the laptop. It's like the first day you get it, first week you get it, you're using it every day, you close it, you put it in the wrapping that it came with, and you put it in the box, then you put it under your bed, then you're happy that you had the laptop. Like 2 months later, like you're happy and sandwiches on that laptop, it's on the floor. You don't really cherish it as much because it's like it's something you've been adapted to. It's something that you're used to.
I think the phenomenon you're referring to is diminished marginal utility. Is that right, Sid? You're a business major. You should know this.
Yeah.
Basically,
their weight loss.
Basically, yeah, you don't get the same satisfaction from like the same experience as you do. Like the whole when something's new, novelty gives you greater satisfaction and releases endorphins and stuff. But also, that can happen even if they are interested, though. People get bored of relationships and like start to lose attraction over time. So I don't think that's necessarily just because of you not making a move. That could happen regardless.
They're super invested when they're chasing the person. Like they're trying to get their attention. They're trying to make them feel a certain way.
The hunt.
But once they get that, and the chase is over, like shit, now there's nothing to work towards. So it's not fun anymore.
I just wanted to ask two things. The first one is basically what's a terminal sign that you're in the friend zone? Basically, terminal meaning that like if this happens, like you're cratered, like there's no coming back. I'm just saying, like if she doesn't go like a real extra mile to throw you those signs that potentially you guys could have something romantic brewing in the future, or that is basically end game for that. Like that's not going to happen at all. Like what do you guys think about that?
If y'all in a mutual friend group, like do you guys talk outside that friend group? Do you guys talk? Just the two of you. Because the only interaction you have is within that friend group. Like when you meet up, is it only with that friend group, or do you also hang out, by yourselves as well? If you only hang out within the friend group, then like there's no real effort from her side, or there's no spark, there's nothing really else going on there.
Yeah, I think that's a really, really key indicator. Well, I mean, the simplest way to go about finding out is just to try to make a move. But for the niggas that aren't, too bold or confident, niggas like myself that aren't like, I guess, confident enough to make those type of moves, I'd say like the biggest indicator is one, like what Sid just said about like her not wanting to hang out or like exclusively hanging out with you when there are other people around. That's a really big indicator because I guess like even if she doesn't like say it explicitly, that implies that she wouldn't want to even have that like idea out there that there potentially could be something else. Like she's not even trying to have that awkward like interaction or like plant that seed in your mind that there could potentially be something else. Like basically that's like a preventative measure like on her part. And I'd say another big indicator is if like if she brings up like I don't know, like maybe it's like some guy that she's talking to, or like brings up the fact that like she has like a boyfriend, or like talks about exes or something, like just anything talking about like guys that she's had some type of romantic relationship with. It's like it's not a wrap, but it's like another indicator for sure.
I actually think that can be one of the signs, to be honest, though. Like, it can work both ways. Because if you with a girl and you just hang out, just the two of you, and she keeps complaining about her boyfriend or something like that, joining, she maybe trying to signal you that, yo, like, I'm not happy in this thing, so maybe, make a move and we can see what happens. Because sometimes people are just comfortable in relationships and they're scared of getting out of it because they lose their comfort zone, even though it's a bad one. Then I think some people may use that as a sign to give to somebody else who they feel comfortable with as well.
I don't know if that's like the type of relationship, or like if you should want to pursue anything further. If she's like using you as not, I don't want to say a backup plan, because maybe she didn't meet you until after she was already like no longer emotionally invested in her current boyfriend, but like you don't want to be a rebound. You don't want to be like a replacement. It's not even like from like a pride aspect. It's just more so the fact that like I don't know, it does seem like pretty judgmental, but in your mind you like, if she's like replacing him with me, what makes me so special that she wouldn't do the same to me in the future? My next question is this is gonna be a hot one. Get ready, get you know what I'm saying, get strapped in, you know what I'm saying? Have y'all ever been in the friend zone, and how did you navigate that? Have you made it out, or have you not made it out? Did you know if you were in the friend zone definitively? Did you like a girl and then you just stayed in the friend zone willingly? Like how did that go? How did that happen? Did y'all have any experiences with that?
Yeah, definitely been in the friend zone and not been able to navigate out of it. I think with certain situations, with mine, I guess I just decided it's not worth risking the friendship, because it's a friendship that you've had for a long time, and something I would prefer to just stay friends and have that friendship, when I need it, rather than risking it and things go badly and then not having that friendship either. So sometimes you have to, it's like weighing the risks and weighing the pros and cons, and just being like, fuck it, friend zone. There's other opportunities out there. I'd rather not lose a friend.
The thing for me is that, like, I've never had someone in my friend group who I had a crush on. So that might seem odd to you guys, because probably that's obviously an experience that you guys have had. But like, I've never had like girls in my friend group who I had crushes on. It's like usually if there's who I consider as a friend, I'd say. But like, it's more of like people I see afar off, and it's like we kind of talk, but it's like we're not really friends. We just have like conversations from time to time. So what I do about it is that I try to play it cool. I never try to go too aggressive to whatever. Like, I don't want to go on my way. I mean, we talk and it's like see how things progress. And yeah, that's all I have to add here for now. It gets thrown back around, I guess.
All right, I'm gonna throw it back. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna throw it back. all right. Ain't no pause. I'm gonna get to my story. All right, so this is a girl. Let's call her Emily. Let's call her M. All right.
Stalker.
M.
Yeah,
M. Yeah. You know. So M and I sat next to her in freshman year orientation in college. I forgot, they made us ask like the person next to us like some random question. It was some bullshit, but that's like how we got introduced. I was like forced to talk to her, and she was cool. We was talking. She was like my first, I guess technically my first friend that I made there, aside from my roommate. So yeah, we was talking. It was cool. We was having a good time. We went to all like all the beginning of the year freshman events. Like we had what did we have? There was like this whole like festival thing outside. There was like a jumper. There was like a basketball thing.
Candle shit.
Huh?
The candle shit.
Candle.
The candle shit.
Oh, that ritual? No, we're not gonna talk about that. We're not gonna talk about that cult they made us join. No, but there was like some cool events. They had like music playing. There was free food. They had, like I said, like little mini carnival games and stuff. So yeah, we was hanging out, and yeah. So the first like few weeks of school, like we were talking a lot. We got really close, and she told me like literally the first day that we were talking that she had a boyfriend. So like I kind of thought she was cute, but I wasn't really tripping. I wasn't like, it wasn't like the end of the world for me. She was like actually cool to hang out with. So I was like, I'm not really tripping. I'm not gonna push that boundary, you know. So we're close. We hanging out a lot, and then eventually, like usually we would go somewhere. Like she would ask like, oh, let's go to like Rite Aid and like get some ice cream, or let's go eat somewhere, or let's go to the CI, you know, the campus inn, and let's go eat dinner together, stuff like that. So like I said, just hanging out as friends, real casual, and things like in public, you know. And then she would start calling me and like asking to come over to my room, and I'm like, okay. I mean, yeah, I get friends hang out together in their rooms, but like we have co-ed dorms, so there's girls and guys. Yeah, so she was coming over to my dorm, and then at first my roommate was there too, so it's like he got to know her too. Like they're cool. He would like, you know, talk shit too. It was fun. It was good times. And then eventually my roommate was on the basketball team, so he had practice every day at like from 6 to like 8:30. And eventually I think she like picked up on that, so she would like start calling me specifically. Like she would ask to come over specifically at those times when she knew he wasn't there. So like in my mind I was like, okay, all right. I mean, I still, like I said, I didn't try anything because she established from day one that she had a boyfriend. So I was like, all right, cool. I'm not gonna cross this boundary. I'm gonna leave it where it's at. It became like a more consistent thing. Like she was calling me like almost every other day, like coming over to our room. Like I said, it was happening pretty often. And in my mind, well, like I said, we're still friends, but I was also thinking like, all right, there's co-ed dorms, and like there's girls down the hallway. Like there's people. Like that dorm that we was in was the pop-in dorm. Like everybody was there. Like when I would go to open the door, because like, you know, the separate dorms, you can only, your student ID doesn't let you into the other dorm, so I'll have to go let her in. So when I went over there to let her in and we walked to the room, everybody saw it. So I'm like, this not a good look. Like everybody's like saying like, oh, what's happening? Oh, they together type shit. And I'm like, bro, this not a good look, because I mean, I wasn't getting no hoes regardless, but any potential chance I had at talking to any girl, it was immediately over, because they already thought I was talking. They thought I was smashing. So I'm like, damn, this kind of whack. Like this is kind of a tough situation for your boy, because I'm getting no cheeks. I'm not gonna say why, but my roommate put his condoms in my drawer. I'm not gonna explain why. I'm not gonna go into that. He put his condoms in one of my drawers of my dresser, and so she came over, and she just starts looking through my shit. Like she never did this before. I had no idea why, and like so she just got going like drawer by drawer. I'm like I'm sweating. I'm like, when she gets to this last drawer, it like I already know what's in there. Like she gonna like press me about it. She gonna troll me. I don't know what's about to happen. So yeah, she gets to the bottom drawer, and she sees the DOMs, and she like, what is these? And I'm like, hey, don't even worry about it. And she's like, oh, that's what we on. We keeping secrets from each other. I was like, hey, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what that's about. So eventually, she, like I said, when every time she would come over, like we had a chair, and I would be on my bed. I'd be sitting on the bed. She'd be sitting on the chair. And this day, I'm laying on the bed. I'm just cool and like leaned up against the wall. You know what I'm saying, like this. And I got my phone, right? And she sat down on the bed, like kind of in front of me, like to the side a little bit. And I was like, okay. Like I said, I don't know why she decided to do that day, but again, my roommate is gone. It's just me and her in the room. I don't remember exactly how it happened, but I got her phone, and then she took my phone, and I downloaded a game on her phone. I was just playing the game on her phone. I was like, you shit, wow, you ain't got no games on this bitch? Like, come on now. So I downloaded something I was playing on her phone, and she was asking for my password to my phone, and I was like, why do you want my password? Like, no, you're not about to get this. So like I took my phone back because she was about to lock my shit because she kept trying to guess the password, and then like, so I'm like holding my phone like away from her, and then she like lays down in front of me, and she's like reaching for the phone, and then eventually she gives up and she just stays there. She's just laid down. I'm like this against the wall, and she's like in front of me, like laying on my chest in front of me, and I don't know what's happening at this point. I'm like, yo, you comfortable? And she's just like, yeah. Like I was like trolling, like nigga, you comfortable? Like you like really laying down on me right now. So yeah, I'm holding the phone. I'm playing games on her phone still, and then my roommate walks in, and that nigga goes off. He starts gassing, and he's like, "Oh, this what we doing now? Hey, I can leave. Y'all need the room. I can leave. Oh, this what we got." He starts trolling. He started going crazy. So, yeah, she left a little bit after that, and then so I'm talking to my roommate, and that nigga's like, "Bro, I've been telling you since day one, like you need to get after that. Like, fuck her boyfriend." He telling me, he was talking crazy. He was telling me that from day one. That's true. He was saying that from day one. He's like, "Nah, she always over here. She talking to you. There's something going on there. Like, fuck the boyfriend." And I'm like, "Bro, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna violate not only that boundary with her, but also like do that to the boyfriend." I was like, "No, I can't do that." So I never really tried anything. But then after that, like I was like, I don't know, that's like not something a friend does. Like the friend, nah, you can't just be like cuddled up with a friend. I know her boyfriend wouldn't have been cool with that. So I text her like, "Yo, like what's up? Like we just friends?" She's like, "Yeah, we just friends." And I was like, "But like I don't know, like this don't seem like a normal friendship. Like you coming over all the time, like you was kind of cuddled up on me." And then she was like, "Nah, we're just really close." And I was like, I don't know. At this point I was like frustrated almost because I did kind of like her, but like I said, I didn't want to try anything. I didn't want to break that boundary. So after I asked her that, and then she was like, "Nah," and then like that compounded with the fact that like everybody thought that we were dating, everybody, including niggas in this Discord right now that was pressing me. So yeah, that with those facts compounded, I cut it off at that point. I was like, I can't do this anymore. I'm just gonna continue to get more frustrated. So yeah, that's how that ended.
Now that I've heard this trick a couple times, I had a chance to analyze it like a couple times.
Uh-huh.
You know what I think happened with the whole condom situation? I think your roommate put them in your drawer and told her, was like, "Yo, check this drawer."
I never thought about that.
There's no other way. Why else would you go through your shit though? Like, bro, I got close friends like or girls. They never went through my shit. I mean, like,
what should I have done differently? Like, well, how could I have navigated that better?
I don't know if you really could have done much differently. I think it was all then like she saw the shit, right? And she probably came to the conclusion that maybe you was trying to, enhance stuff. But then again, her like laying in bed and doing all that after the fact that you had condoms in your drawer.
Yeah.
That
like right after.
I think that's what that's where I understand your disconnect. Where like, you're like, oh, you've seen that, you reacted in a certain way, like you're still doing that. Like most girls who are just trying to stay friends, after they find condoms in it was drawer, they might pull back just a little bit to send a message saying, "Alright, that's not what's up."
Yeah, I agree with everything Sid said. I think the only little point of contention is that, like, I know Sid said that, like, one of his closest friends is a girl, they go to dorms, whatever. I don't think they're, like, doing all that cuddling. I mean, I don't know, Sid, you have to tell me, but I don't think you're doing, like, basically demonstrating what she was doing at that dorm under the circumstances that you were dealing with. Like, obviously, you weren't at fault for thinking the way you did. Like, obviously, there's evidence or just subjectivity to suggest that, was something that was supposed to be more than just a platonic relationship. But like what Sid was saying, like if how he explained it, that's another thing. It's like she could just be a touchy person. She could just do that type of stuff with a lot of people. It's like it's impossible to tell the signs because like everyone's privy to different experiences. So it's like it's hard to tell in any given case whether that's a sign of attraction, whether that means something more. Probably she does that with every guy. I don't know, or just people that she's close to. It's impossible to tell. So it's like, yeah, you're not wrong in how you reacted to the situation. I mean, it was great how you reacted to the situation in terms of like being cautious, because like obviously you said you don't want to break the boundary, because she did say that she has a boyfriend. You respect that relationship, even though she might not, or she might, but she just gave off signs that she potentially wouldn't. So it's like you played your cards right there. You didn't try to progress everything to make it uncomfortable for her, or like to have distrust between her and her own relationship. So I think you played it well with her. I think it's just hard to see it from both sides. I mean, it's easy to see it from both sides, how it can be misconstrued in different ways, but I could see why you would think that way, because it's not experiences that I'm close to. Like, I don't like being, I like my space. I don't really like being touchy people around me, so that's a whole thing. But like, yeah, I could see why, if you haven't been privy to those experiences, why you'd think that way.
Just to provide a little context, from what I know, she didn't hang out with many people at all. Like, she didn't even like her roommates. Like, as far as I know, I was literally pretty much like the only guy like on campus that she was talking to. What the heck are you doing, bro?
I was just doing some next.
You look like an ostrich, bro. Yeah. As far as I knew, I was like the only guy on campus that she really even talked to, at least on a any type of consistent basis. Like, like I said, she was texting me a lot. We hung out a lot. Like, and according to her, like, she said it herself, like, we hung out and talked more than she talked to her own boyfriend, which I found really weird that she like literally told me that. But also, it wasn't like she was just this like really touchy, bubbly, outgoing person. Like, Sid met her. He knew, he kind of knew what she was like a little bit. Like, it was a few times that we all hung out. So like, he kind of knows what she was like a little bit. So I don't know. Did you get that vibe from her, Sid? Because I don't know if she gave off that vibe.
I mean, I don't know. It's difficult for me to say, because when we all do it in a group, it's different. And you hang out by yourselves, it's different. Do you mean, like, even if it's just like homie shit, it's so different though. Because you're not going to do that same shit in a group setting that you do in a private setting. And also, I don't really talk to her that much, to be honest with you. Like, we talk to her a little bit here and there. Like, when we would go eat at the CI, like.
So this was junior year of college. So this is like last year. We have a lab. One day I'm just sitting where I typically study for like my tests and stuff like that. And like one day this girl's passing by and she waves and she smiles at me. And like, I pretty much don't think anything of it, but I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. That's so random. It's like, that typically doesn't happen in a day. So I just let it go by. That happens. So second day comes by. I always go to that spot to study. That's like, I usually always just go there. So like, she comes over, but pretty much each time it happens, I'm just looking to the side like, there has to be someone around me, or like she has to be smiling out the wall, because it's like, there's no way she's smiling at me. Like, what is going on here? So basically, it's like our lab is pretty big. Like, there's like, basically for our lecture, there's like 100, like 40 something people. It's like huge auditorium where basically we go for our labs. We're in a group of 4, she's in our group. So basically it's like the perfect opportunity we can talk. There's like little like jabs back and forth, just a little talking. I'm not saying anything. Okay. Basically she's asking me questions about like my personal life and stuff like that. But just like, I didn't really go out of my way to talk to her. Like, she was talking to me, different stuff like that. So basically I was like, okay, could this be something? But it's like, it could be, I wasn't like saying, oh, it's God sent, like this 100% gonna happen. In my mind, I was just like, okay, it's like, whatever. I'll just see how it plays out. It's like, we could be friends, let's just see how it works. So basically I'm like, I'm a terrible texter. So I can't just text her, because if I text her something, she's not gonna respond. So it's like, I need help from someone I know. So I told Chris, I was like, yo, you know those episodes of TV shows where it's like one friend's on the date and they have the earpiece in their ear, the other friend's behind the tree with the walkie-talkie. That's basically what we did. Basically, I just type something, I throw it out there. Chris, he's like the verification thing. He throws it back at me, and we throw it there. We throw it at her, and basically we just see what. We throw the first message at her. We get something eventful back. So basically, we just go back and forth. It's like Grammarly. It's like I type that, say, we throw it to Chris, he edits it, he throws it back, I throw it to her, and like basically we get responses. It's like a whole like chain of responses. So basically it's like near finals time. It's like we have to move beyond this stage of this texting, like this little back and forth. So like Chris is like, oh, you have to ask her to study for the final. Like this final is like ABCs. It's like, it's extremely simple. It's like, would make no sense for me to go say like, oh, we should study together. So like I just chicken out on that. I don't ask her. It's like the last week of school. It's like I might as well throw everything at her because it's like this last week of school, like nothing's gonna happen. It's like I might as well just know now because like I'm never gonna have a class with this person because they're 1 year below me. So Chris is like, oh, ask her like out somewhere, whatever. Like this is the first time I've ever like formally asked out a girl, like saying like, oh, we should hang out this place, like pick the time, like this, like that. She said she was going out. That's the thing. That's another thing about this. She's not from LA. She's from like a whole different place. So basically, before I go, she goes. Basically, I throw a text like, "Oh yeah, you want to hang out sometime, whatever? Do you want to hang out sometime, like before finals, or whatever?" And she's like, "Oh, my plane leaves immediately. Like my plane leaves immediately after my finals are done being taken." And I was like, basically, my response is like, I just process it a little. I'll just like let me do some more work, then I'll throw something at her back. Basically, I just said like, it was sometime before. I think I was like, oh, can we hang out sometime before? Or like, basically, if you were forced to go, I mean, you have to go on the plane. Like after you get on the plane, whatever, we can schedule something back in like January when we get back from school. Basically, she was like, oh, maybe we'll see about it. Basically, at that point, I was like, yeah, it's probably not. So basically, after that, Chris was like, oh, if just sit a couple days and just see if she replies to you. Like if she sends you anything or anything like that, that means there's a sign. If she doesn't say anything, that means it's like a death flag. And basically, the death flag happened. That was like my quote unquote friend zone story, but it wasn't really a friend zone story. So like that was a whole waste of your time. So yeah, that happened.
Bro, really just said I wasted you. I think that's gonna wrap it up for this one. As always, appreciate y'all for watching. Appreciate you for coming on here, Sid. Hopefully we can have you on more in the future. You know what I'm saying? Sure. So hopefully we can get things set up with the schedules and everything. All right. Appreciate y'all for watching. Love y'all. See y'all next time. Peace.